Well, good afternoon, heroes and heroines, and welcome to Practising Programming in C, where I'm going to continue with Cinera's Sprites, continue enabling Cinera to use Sprites. After I've just ripped this this thing from an actual CD, by the way. Today's it's the anniversary of Autechre's album Untilted, the 15th anniversary of its release. I just ripped it from an actual CD, believe it or not. So yeah, that consumed a bit of our time just now. We've got this queued up. We've got the soundtrack for Jessica Curry's soundtrack for Dear Esther lined up as well, and I think I'm going to go for 2 hours, which means that I can actually set a timer for it using Insofar's well, it's actually Insobot's newfound ability to do it that Insofar has taught Insobot to do. So here we go, let's do a 2-hour timer. I think that'll do it. And then when the time is up, it should ping me. So last night, or last stream, we had an error with this. Fix the asset stuff, trying to generate a hero, or just setting risky seem to hero corrupts the assets array. And yeah, what's going on here is simply, I had a look later on in the day before I went to bed, and it's just this. It's just get placing book just wasn't actually working correctly. We compute the required page here, so this is going to return a page number, and then this thing just sets a pointer to the first page, and then it's like, while this add a page, and then positioning page is equal to the position modded with the items per page. Now, nowhere in here do we actually set the page to the right page. So we actually need to do this. But I'm going to do another additional thing. Which is like a memory position. I'll say memory page and line. Do this. And get or book, actually sorry, book position. Get book position from index, and this is going to take obviously an index. And I mean, this guy is sort of taking data width, but I'm thinking that I'm going to also augment the memory block with the data width. So you've got a type and you've got a data width. Now it would be nice. It would be nice if you could just put into this struct, look, this is the type of things that you're putting into this book, and then all you do is you just say you're putting assets into the book. You know what the type is, you know what the data width is, and then when it comes down to something like a print book, like here, I'm sort of ready to do the assets case, which we don't actually handle yet. Then if you're looking at assets, you know that you could just call the print asset function and it just prints them. Or print asset name, whatever. But yeah, we don't have that in C, so we can't quite do that. But here we go. When we init a book, I'm going to make this additionally take. I've got the page size, the type. I'm going to also take the data width in bytes. data width in bytes. So that's going to init it. And I guess another thing also is like when we init the book, the page size, we could actually, since we're taking the data within bytes, we could actually change this to be items per page. Okay, and then the page size would be the items per page. Yeah, I think that'd be correct. I do think it's best to say the page size in bytes. You know, rather than saying it's items per page, rather than saying the items per page. I mean, I guess you can retrieve it from the data within bytes, honestly. The reason I'm hesitant to do that is because the memory books are also used for strings, and in that case it's not really an item count as such, because you don't really know how many strings you want to be able to store. You just know that you want to be able to store this number of characters in it, and then it'll store the strings within it. So yeah, let's keep it like this, page size, data width in bytes. So init book happens, and then this is going to be like 16. Page book size, init the watch handles. So what is this storing exactly? Got 4 kilobytes for that. So yeah, this is the size of a watch handle, isn't it? I just put data within bytes, items per page. Yeah, that's the way that I wanted to do it, wasn't it? Yeah, okay, so then the data within bytes. I guess it'd just be that. Oh, also. Oh no, it is a string actually. Oh, hang on. So yeah, it's watch handles. So what was that previously saying? Yeah. Sorry, beg your pardon. It's not actually using this. This is still saying kilobytes. Alright, so let's make it take us the similar thing. It's like yeah, I think that would be what you'd want. Got the book, data width, items per page, the type, data width. So that allows us to actually compute this information. We don't need the data width anymore. Okay, now this thing here, we need to drag the items page from the page size divided by the data width in bytes. And then we've got the index, so I reckon what you do is you say that the result dot line is equal to the index modded with the items per page. So the index minus equals to the result dot line, and then finally the result dot page is equal to the index divided by items per page. Yeah, we should just have that straight away. So we know what page we want to be on. Oh, right, yeah. And then after all this, because all we're trying to get is the pointer. Can we just do that? I mean, it's let us do it, hasn't it? And after all of this, page ain't used. Yeah, I'm not. Nah, I'm not keen about this. It feels a bit too cryptic. So I'm going to actually get the page out. So we know what the page is. Let's stick this at the base of the page. And then shunt it forwards. Yeah, so we get the page out first. We then set the pointer to be the base of that page, and we shunt it forwards the data within bytes plus the position in the line. Yeah, I mean, there's no necessity to actually set that. Okay, let's run this and see what it reckons. Yeah, we used to have a test, didn't we? It was this. Interesting. To get position of index. On place assets. Just give us a couple of minutes. I'll BRB. Right, let's step in, see what's going on. So it's on a Git placing book call. So yeah, it lists button assets and then place asset. Let's go through there. Page 0, line 0, that looks right to me. The first one would be expecting to say that. See, so the pages, the end pages plus the position page. That should be. So the position page is greater than the page count take away 1. So we need to add a page. Is the page count? I mean 0, okay, so I see the page count is just not an integer. No, it is. Right, position page is 0. That is -1. So why didn't that fire? Exactly. Position page. The page of the U64T. Run it again. I think it's going to go in the wraps here, so. Oh, let's show it. Yeah, we are. Okay. So. Right, 0, 0. Can't access that. So we know that the position is 0, 0. We know that that is currently 0, so that means that 0 take away 1 is -1. And yet we don't pass the test. What if I just straight up say if I just say 0? It's far as stumped. Try again. Oh, that's where I need to go. So that knows that it's greater than. It knows that 0 is greater than that. The position page is definitely 0. So the book position, I mean, I suppose maybe you could possibly argue that it needs to be the same, the exact same type as the book count, as the page counts. Not 100% sure I understand why that would be there. Position is like that. Now we do pass the test. So that made a difference. The making it in 64T, making the page in 64T, makes that comparison actually work correctly. uint. Oh, it's probably what it's probably doing actually, because one of them is a uint. It's actually evaluated the whole thing as a uint. So it's sort of casting this to a uint and treating this as like 1 to the 64, 1 shifted or 64, 63. That's probably it, isn't it? Actually. So if I were to do so, this is a uint. Let's say that I cast this to be an int 64. Will this then evaluate correctly, I wonder? No. Well, whatever. Suppose we just... Well, yeah, I mean, if it's not that. Position page is greater than... That's a uint. Sorry, casted the wrong thing, didn't I? Because that person over there is already that type, isn't it? So that's probably this is probably more like what I need to do. Yeah, I think I have encountered that before actually, when you got mismatched types. Page. I mean, the page count. I suppose since the page count is in int, it makes sense to say that you just do it like this. It just is an int. That'd probably be the more sensible way of doing it. As for the lines, that's dependent on the data width times by the number that you want. So, yeah. That could be whatever value. Just double check that it's still actually correct. Yeah, perfect. Cool. We're filling in the information. Alright. And that seems to be fine now. But yeah, so while the position is, so the problem there was it just wasn't adding the page, but I was sort of suggesting that if you're going to get down to here anyway, you should have a page. So let's just not bother with the test. Yeah, I do think that would be a reasonable assumption. don't think you can get a situation where you wouldn't get the... You wouldn't just W7 compare catches that. Ah. Oh, I've got a few of these. Right. So it's comparing an int versus a U64. Yeah, I do it a lot, don't I, actually? We're like 6% through the list of errors here. There's 1,000 lines of errors. Of warnings, rather. So the problem was... I suppose the problem it's when you've got a -1, isn't it, really? I don't often have a -1. You know, because this is turned that into a -1. I might just say for now that it's not too much of a problem. And I think maybe just keep it in mind. Just keep that comparison issue in mind. I think that's what I'll do. Just check again that this is working now. Yeah, cool. So the reason that we got to this, by the way, was that I was adding so many. It was just an extra asset to the thing. Gosh, why is that keep on popping up without me saying so? Yeah, I was adding a bunch of assets. There's a lot in the template. That was part of it. Now, I would like to set the theme to be hero for this person. I think that was the initial problem. That I set the theme to hero and that triggered the error. And then I realised that the template also was part of the problem. So we're now on the hero thing. And yeah, it's managed to pick the correct, hasn't it? Yeah, it's picked the correct version of the sprite. Is that right? So you can see it's orange on the left and white on the right. Yeah, that's perfect. Alright, that's great. I'm really happy about that. So the next thing I'd like to try is the focusing. Does it pick the correct one for focusing? Now actually, just bear with me a second, I don't actually think that this is doing the picking of the dart thing in a generic way, actually. I think we're still using the old code. So what I'm going to do I'm going to test that first. Yeah, so if I go into here, and it's build credits. Now, actually, what is that? I think the guy above actually. Oh, no, I think this does have variants. Let me just see. Here's the credits container. It's a sprite variant. Yeah, so it is using sprite variants. My one below is not using variants. Alright, so the support icon here. I reckon if I just break it, let's just see what happens. So this is the on light. Remember, we're going to be generating it as hero, so it'll be on dark. I would expect this to look the same. So basically, it's navy and orange. Let's check actually. Let's check how it's actually working. I mean, it's possible it's just automatically working actually, to be honest. So, Cinera JS. It's like set brightness. Get background brightness. Yeah, set icon lightness. So that knows set icon lightness, last focus credit item first child. Okay. Well, there we have it. We do automatically. I'm going to change this actually. I'm going to do it so it's like set sprite brightness. And then it just goes over all of the people. And what does that actually do? Does that just set the class? Oh, it sets the background position. Right. Yeah, this isn't right. This is not right at all. Yeah, this ain't right. So let's do this again. Cinera.js. So yeah, there's all your sprites. Oh, mind you, is it actually? if it contains dark, so I think we could use it here, couldn't we? Because we're looking at the actual elements itself already. And if the background brightness is less than 127, we do this. Now we will need to get background brightness in this file also. Let's just comment this out so it shouldn't actually do that. Aha. Oh, we don't have to go back around this. So set icon lines is not defined. Alright, so we've now lost it, haven't we? You can actually see there's a glimmer of it. Oh no, that's just part of the back, part of the dot behind it. So let's go into, well, actually, let's first of all get background brightness. Okay, still doesn't fancy it. I mean, that would be right, wouldn't it? This, I think, versus this. Oh, hang on. Ah. I think I did hit this problem, actually. There we go. Yeah, so it's picked the wrong one, though, hasn't it? Get back and right for that. Has dark is true. Get background brightness. So that reckons it's 22, which sounds pretty dark to me. So if that is less than 127, I mean, run a dark background. So we run after a dark background. Let's just switch over to the other theme, see what that does. Yeah, it's backwards. Now, if this type of sprite data x dark. Oh, I know why it's backwards. It's because the sprite is the wrong way around. Yeah, we specified this the other way around. So let me just fix the sprite. And that's not a cop-out, that is actually the truth. Because we say that the do I have that? This is it. So we say that it goes on light on the left and on dark on the right. But if we open the actual file, you can see that the guy on the left is the one that should be on the dark side, and the guy on the right is the one that should be on the light. So yeah, let's just fix this. I've got like 16 pixels of each. So how do you go about this then? There's 16 bytes. Probably need layers actually. So let's take this. Try again. Take that, stick this into the right. But we need to shift it over, don't we? I know, hang on. Let's create a new layer that's only 16 bits wide. Yeah, I mean these guys do look like they're double the width, but I think that, yeah, you can see that the outline is just that big. So yeah, I think if I just go, let's grab this guy. This goes on the right. And then if we take this guy, stick it on the left. And then we take the right and actually align it. What's going on? Have I crashed? What's happening? Right. I think that's right. So what have I done there actually? I've put the left on the right. I've moved the left over to the right. Yeah, I've done that wrong. So I should be saying the right one. Goes over there, yeah. What? Oh, it's because I need to be able to select that guy. Right, that's correct. And then finally, flatten it. And export. It updated the thing. That was quite nice to see that happen. And our credits menu is now completely broken. And I think this is just because there's an issue with loading it Ah, you can see that the transparency is busted now. Let's try and export it in this sort of state here. How does this look? Yeah, I mean, that still looks really messed up. You know, it's like a jaggedy edge. It's the correct way around, but jaggedy. I mean, have I got to do this? Have I just got to go and get the actual asset pack and do it all again? I think I'm doing it, aren't I? I'm just straight up doing it. So let's just close this. I think it was colour on. We're treating the white and the navy is what we're using, I think. So we're going to just check on white and then on navy. Yeah, that'd be right. All right. Actually, let me just. Oh, and of course I go and choose the wrong one. Choose one that we're not using. I mean, would it help to use the SVG? I don't think I could use an SVG with GIMP, could I? Ah, yeah, so it's not actually... Oh, hang on. If I do 128 by 128, I don't want it to stretch it. All I want it to do is pad it out. And I think that has stretched it. Yeah, I do. Okay, and then in order to get that into the correct place, just move it down a bit. Actually, now that I think about it, there's no necessity for this to actually be square. Because we're actually computing the size of the tail. Let's keep it as 16 by 16 though. Just for, I don't know, for the sake of it. So we need to align that centrally. Okay, so now we need to add another layer for the bright, I suppose. So there's a Patreon logo colour for black and white. We need to paste into this guy the other one. Colour on navy, SVG, width 128. That'll adapt that. So that's, yeah, it's gone there, cool. Alright, now let's just resize this. So you've got 256. Resize none of the layers, fill with transparency. And then, so we wanted the on light on the left. So let's grab that. Well, it's just take this, do that, do this. I think this is fine than what we actually want. So if we were to, first of all, save it, I guess. Where is this? Git HMN. Okay, so that's that. But we want to actually scale it. So the height is 16. And export as Cinera Sprite. Let's just check that it's the right name. Cinera Sprite to Patreon.png, yeah. That looks more like it. Yeah, perfect. So this can go. We know that we're doing this now. This stuff here, this the focusing. Again, I think that I shouldn't make this do it directly. I think it should be informed by somebody else. Now let's just actually see this icon lightness. Credit focused. Ah, actually. I'll tell you what. I'm actually going to do this slightly differently again. I'm going to say, I'm going to go back to this class list contains dark actually. And I'm going to say this set icon lightness, rather than doing this directly, all it does is add the class list dark. And then this guy responds to that. So the get background brightness again does come into here. Although now that I think about it, play pre. No, I think this guy needs to know about it. We don't have any icons on the search page yet, which is why it's in here, but I'll leave it here for now, and we might want to come back to this. When the search page actually contains icons. Oh, actually, it's going to contain them very shortly, honestly. Alright, cool. It's not picked the right one, has it? Interesting. We've got numbers going up there for some reason. If it's dark. So they get background brightness. What am I actually looking at in Cinera.js? I'm saying if this class list contains dark, and this is talking about the icon element, so what is that? What is that versus what is this? So we've got set icon lightness of this, which one? Oh, okay, fine. We've got set icon lightness, support icon, this background image null. Yeah, again, that's busted. Background image is still null. Background image. So we know what the source is, the style background image. Maybe that's something to worry about, I don't know. But then the sprite stuff down here is looking at support icon, Cinera sprite. So we've got a support underscore icon. And then we've got support icon. Ah, yeah. So what the difference here is we're doing the set icon lightness on all the sprites, on all the support icons. Whereas this is talking about all the sprites. So really, where this gets called credit. Yeah, just 2 minutes. Be right back. Alright, I'm inclined to say that we prevent the support icon thing from doing it. So this thing over here, we prevent this from doing it, and instead we do it just generically for the sprites. So let's just have a gander at how this is actually doing it again. If it contains credit, yeah, again that's credit. So if we focused element per node contains list credit, is this is also a focused element? I think this is a thing that has to then get recomputed when you focus it, slightly unfortunate, this is the player pre, because we defer this to the end, which means that it evaluates this JavaScript after it's actually loaded the whole page. So yeah, we want nothing that just sets the icon lightness for all sprites, basically. Yeah, I might use jiggery pokery. There's get background lightness. And this is set icon lightness. Set, let's say set sprite lightness. Icon lightness. If the if it's a Cinera sprite, set the sprite lightness, I think. So if focused element dot first child, I guess, because that's what's being passed to that. So let's just say that's weird. Class list. Where is it? Yeah, class list contains. Which one is this lightness? Now again, that function shouldn't be available to it, should it? Yeah. Kind of amazing that that completely screws up the rendering. So yeah, the key problem here is that it's deferred down to the bottom. Player pre is happening there. No. Could we not just put that in player post under? Because all this can only happen once it's actually, you can only handle a key after it's actually loaded, can't you? Line 2, 3, 4. Not exactly sure why I wasn't finding this. Sorry. Oh, sorry, that's saying set spread lines. Oh, I know what's happening. It's deferring this until after the other ones. I mean, I don't want to do this. Don't make me do it. Yeah, it's not doing it, is it? That's a Cinera player post. Icon element. The last focus credit item, first child. If it contains supports. Oh, that's where the background image is coming from. So that doesn't need to happen. I don't think. Actually, yeah, that doesn't need to happen either. Set icon lights is not defined. Somebody's calling that in player pre. 601. Oh, right. Wait. Toggle menu visibility. Again, this can only happen post. As can this. I think the thinking actually was, wasn't it? The thinking was that you'd put your functions in the, you'd put your functions pre and you'd put your events post. Does that just mean that you need to have, instead of having a cinera.js, I can't even see if I'm looking at the right file there. Instead of having a cinera.js, which always gets deferred, you have like a cinera pre.js or a cinera functions.js, which you can stick at the top. Cinera events.js, which you stick at the bottom. Well, actually, it's not even events, is it? It's actually stuff that has to happen on elements. So yeah, just Cinera pre and Cinera post. I think that would be it, wouldn't it? So yeah, let's do that. Let's do this. Just make sure I've got all the actual stuff again. this does not need to happen. So there's our sprite line that's up there, which I'm suggesting, that was that, wasn't it? Yeah. This has to uproot on drop downs and stuff. Yeah, okay, so I think that's correct. So now we need to say if we require Cinera.js, then we stick the pre up there without defer, and then we stick the post with defer. Same deal. Actually, no, we'll do it. So we can actually say JS Cinera, change to JS Cinera pre. Right, I think that's correct. Hopefully actually going to be putting the right stuff in the right place now. So that kind of accommodated that. Things as well. I assume that's the problem. in the future that kind of stuff will not be an issue. So yeah, we're not managing to get that through, are we? Set sprite length is not defined. Cinera player post 216. So the Cinera player post 216. Really? So it's the player post set sprite lightness. Right, that's in this file. Cinera pre.js. Oh, it doesn't exist, does it not? Oh, we need to actually do the symlinks. So where the hell are these guys? Okay, so the Cinera.js is no longer correct now. And we probably need to regenerate it because it doesn't know. It doesn't watch symlinks. That's one of the downsides. That's the one thing that the watching doesn't actually handle. It doesn't handle changing of symlinks around. So if you want to do that kind of thing, you'll have to run the program. Yeah, it's still not been the right one. It's a set icon line is not defined. Cinera player pre 601. Not exactly sure what these guys are. Yeah, so there's still something not quite right. He doesn't know. Let's see. Cinera sprite just hasn't managed to do it, has it? If this class list contains dark, I suppose that might help. Yeah. Alright. So that'll do it. On loading. And then when you're doing the focusing, that'll then do it again. Now, actually, now think about it, set sprite lines, these all need to check, don't they? Before actually doing it, they need to know if it is actually a sprite. Wait. Set sprite lightness is the person in question. I mean, to be honest with you, all we're doing is class listing add the dark. So, I mean, even if it's not a sprite, who cares? So yeah, I suppose actually, I think let's not bother making that test that at all. I think we did make somebody test that somewhere. If it contains support, set sprite lightness. Okay, fine. But this thing down here is simply initializing that thing. It's initializing the background image, which we don't need because we're actually setting it. You know, in the actual sprite code, we're doing that. So that's for the darkness. Let's try focusing now. Show them on the right screen. So we need another image. So focusing is basically normal at the top, focused in the middle. So we want to say what do we want to say? I guess we could group these things, couldn't we? And the focused is going to be below it. And let's make the colour of this thing just a little bit different, maybe. And the background, let's just go from there to magenta, let's say. Would that be right? What was the colour of the text that I picked? I don't know, it doesn't matter. See, the focus is there. We want to now take that whole thing and stick it at the bottom. There we go, that looks nice. So now we're saying my support platform 2. Let's save it as I mean, there's no disabled. I'm not exactly sure. This did occur to me actually. I'm not sure how this is going to figure with the supports, because we don't actually allow supports to be disabled. My support platform dash light.png. So it's the support for my support platform. So if we say this, I probably don't need to do anything with the symlinks. My support platform light. My support platform light. Now I guess the question is, where did it go actually? That went to Cinera. Oh, we'll need to do it with the... Yeah, we'll need to handle that. No, I'm not sure if that will automatically come through. So again, we change it. So, okay, hasn't fancied something about this. My support platform light.png images. So it does know about that. That's incorrect actually, that it's actually made it squished. He's made it 16 pixels. Let's say, yeah, I think it is light normal and light and, yeah, light focused. And I think it's also, is it underscores? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's come through. Oh dude, and it's also actually working in terms of the focusing. Although I think that's actually a product of the event. Yeah. So really what we want to be doing there is not handling it directly by that, but leaning on the actual like like the parent person, really. So rather than having this, we want to say something like, if the class list contains focused, sorry. That's interesting, that didn't pick up the change. Oh, it's the wrong file. Cinera.js. So it's still responding to that for some reason, because of this. And also, if we're not going to do it with the event listeners, I can actually kind of rejig the sprite data so we don't have that ridiculous handle event function. In fact, it is just deleting that, isn't it? Oh, and also maybe the element this. Is that right? Maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, that's good that it's not responding to that anymore. Well, let's just see what happens when we actually. So there's support focused. You can see there. If I just make this a bit bigger. We're looking somewhere in here. Try and just find it. Yeah, okay, so you can see I'm pointing at the monitor. You can see down here, support focused will pop up. Okay. So what we actually need to do, we know that we're on dark, you can see there. If it's a sprite, we need to somehow say, if any of our parents are focused, isn't it really? Then we need to respond to that, really. Okay. So while we have parents, if the class is considered. Well, what is it? It's while this parent. Well, hang on. We need to do it for ourselves first. So this class is going to do. It's like determine focus. Okay. So think it's something like this. I do like to do a capitalisation. No, this wouldn't be right, I don't think. Necessarily. Do you know what I mean? Because the credits could be focused. I mean, we did it differently. You can see this ends up being visible. Oh, I got it. So that's focused. This is now focused. Okay, so I guess the way that we've done it is that it is only the most closely focused thing. You know, we're not saying that this particular credit is focused. We're only saying that it's the nearest thing is focused. And fortunately, our sprite is a child of the A. So yeah, I think we're on the right tracks here. Yeah, that hasn't quite worked, has it? Oh, do we not call it actually? Yep, still doesn't fancy it. Oh, I know what's the matter actually. This only runs once, doesn't it? It's not focused. So when we do the focusing here, yes, we set the focused. We set the class list add focused, but we're not able to respond to that. So wherever we do the set sprite lightness, we're talking about the focus element first child, right? Which is it's a bit hacky. But if I was to say this, this is going to be responding to when we come from the left to the right. Yeah, you now figured it out. So what do I do this in a generic way? Because this is going to have to happen in multiple places. It's going to happen in the filter container. Cinera Sprites. I mean, yeah, it's maybe just possible that this is it. Add the focused. Yeah, you might just have to go through everyone. Is that my timer? Yeah, Miller's contribution is complete. So yeah, I guess that's it. But I think at least we got the principle down, haven't we? This won't fire, but this should, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's working as expected. And also it's managed to pick. Remember that we have light on the left, dark on the right, and then obviously the normal, focused and disabled. We're in the dark font, the dark theme here, and this is managed to know, despite dark being on the right hand column, if you've got a light in the dark, despite dark being on the, I'll do it for your side, despite dark being on the right hand side and light on there, it's managed to pick an icon because it's determined that the only available one is from the actual column, because I've only got 2 in the file. Yeah, okay, let's call it there. I'm going to get some lunch, and maybe I'll do some more later. Not sure. And I guess I'll ponder how to do this, actually. You know, whether it's a case of going through everyone and laboriously sort of setting this, or whether there's a kind of a nicer way of doing it. So yeah, that's what I'll do. Pondering. So thank you very much, Heroes and Heroines, for being Never Been Beautiful, for being timely, and especially thanks to you, Interfaris, for making the timer command. Thank you for teaching InsoBot how to do timers. Until next time, farewell for now.